Best way to start is just thoughts, please.
Cricket sucks. That's the number one thought, I think. Yeah, I think, yes, it was a cracking game. I actually don't even have many words to describe it. I'm just really chuffed we got over the line in the end.
Are you guys speaking to KG yet?
No, KG will we'll give him a bit of time, but we'll get our arms around him. We'll probably get a couple of drinks down him later. And yeah, he's one of us through thick and thin, so he's always going to be there.
Did you think, I mean, 2 super overs, after that second super over, did you think that, okay, now they need 24 or 4 balls,
Yeah.
and then they almost got there? I mean, yeah, I don't know. What?
No, I think obviously the anxiety of that. I said to Dave, he was next to me, I said, come on, 2 dots, we win this game. Wicket, and then 3 sixes in a row. You obviously set the cat among the pigeons there. So we were just standing there saying, surely not, this can't be real. But like I say, just over the moon that we managed to get over the line.
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much, because one of the best match we have seen. Secondly, why Maharaj was selected for the final over? Was there anything been discussed out, and not to go with the...
Why Keshav? Why Keshav was selected? I actually was unsure. I thought KG or Marco was going to go, but it came from Shukri saying he thinks Kesh should go. And yeah, credit to where credit's due. I guess it worked. Came down to the last wire. We tried to change it up. I think bowl slow and wide and try to get them to hit over extra cover for 6 to the big boundary. That would be the thinking, which is probably the most difficult shot to do, I think. So I guess that would have been the plan. Yeah, just glad, like I say, glad it came off.
Brooks, can you just tell us, like, what happens in those times before, like, the game ends and then you decide who's going to bat, and are guys saying, yeah, you know, I want to go, or is it Shukri deciding?
I think it's generally the discussion between, you know, the death hitters, Dave and Aiden. You know, Quinny and I and Aiden were kind of, you know, we weren't options, I suppose, but I mean, that's why you got guys like Miller and Stubbs, guys that can finish games, that can hit those low full tosses for 6. And that last shot of Stubbo to hit that low full toss for 6 to take us to the second over proves exactly why, you know, they're worth their money. It's incredibly difficult, but the discussion was always our big hitters, Brevis, Stubbs, Miller were always going to be the 3.
If you had to describe the kinds of feelings, you know, you're watching there's nothing you can really do, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, how would you describe just that whole last bit?
Just anxiety. I think we're standing there, all of us sitting there upstairs, fingers crossed, like, come on guys, just more hope than anything. But yeah, like I said, it was an absolute whirlwind of a game. Yeah, we were all in it. We rode the emotions, obviously, just like everyone else did. And it was pretty tough, I will say. But yeah, just glad that we got over the line.
Ryan, it must seem like last week that you were out there sharing a century stand with Quinton. Do you even remember it?
I do remember it quite well. Lovely to bat with Quinny. You know, he's such an ace for us. Controls the game really well and helped me through that period as well. I think we're complementing each other quite nicely when we have a partnership. So yeah, hopefully looking forward to spending more time out there with him.
And then just what does it do to a team to come through a hard struggle like that quite early in a tournament? It feels like a good thing.
It does, yeah. It gives us a proper wake-up call, you know, things you can't take for granted. Afghanistan's a team they're a serious cricket team. No one ever took them for granted, but it's just the small things when you have opportunities to close down games, or when you have opportunities with you know, the foot on their throat, you can't let any team back in. So it is a bit of a wake-up call, I'd like to think, just in trying to have that edge, have that sharpness, and when you get ahead, stay ahead. And just make sure that you're looking after those really small things. Like I said, it can come back to bite you. So it'd be a nice wake-up call for all of us, and a lot of things we can get better at.
Just on Quinny, he's so sharp, you know, and the run out today was one example. What have you seen from him in terms of the things he's been working on, and, you know, and the fielding in general? I suppose he's kind of leading the energy there.
Yeah, he just has this aura, I suppose, about him. You know, he's pulling guys left, right, and centre. He has a presence. He doesn't really, you know, make a lot of noise behind the stumps, but he has a strong presence. We all know we all know where our eyes are going between him and Aiden. But it's just the sharpness of the game, what he sees from behind the stumps, the words he gives in the team chats, you know, when they're drinks or wickets or something like that. He actually runs a lot more than you think. Yeah, so he's a complete asset. He's obviously played a hell of a lot of cricket. He's seen a lot of things before as well. So, you know, he'll definitely weigh in on what needs to be said tonight and tomorrow, and on the reflection of the game. But he's definitely got that sharpness, that presence. yeah, and I think we can all learn a lot from him just about how in tune he is with the game.
Do you think South Africa's fielding pieces, those runouts, those couple of catches, made a little difference in the end, you know?
Yes, fielding always makes a bit of a huge difference, I suppose. You know, I think we have a really good fielding unit. We've got guys that catch well, we've got guys that move well. I mean, that catch that George took to dismiss Gobaz was a game-changing moment. And I think the sharpness that we have, you know, on the ground fielding and in the air as well, our catching percentages are quite good. And it's something that we always need to top up with. Because like you said, the small moments, Quinny throwing to the other side to get that run out, again, saves a run. In the biggest scheme of things today, that's a massive, massive win for us. So it's something that we're always topping up on, and something that we can always, you know, try to hold on to, especially, and make sure we get it right in those clutch moments. Thanks, guys.
Hard luck. Your second double super over with Afghanistan in 2 years. Your thoughts on, have you had time to process the thing?
Not really. It's a good game of cricket, obviously. It showed the type of cricket we can play, certainly chasing. And then to get so close in the first super over, I think the game ebbed and flowed, and there were maybe a few mistakes from both sides towards the end that let the other side back in, and when you try and close it out. That was fairly obvious. And then again, is South Africa a good side? They again, if you know, but also we've got some good players as well. And you know, when the second super over and we're 0 for 1 off 2 balls and we still get close, you know, it just shows what we have as a side. So we've got some amazing players, and it's just really devastating for the guys after a tough loss a few days ago against New Zealand, and now against South Africa in a tough group as well. So, you know, these guys are never shy of rising up against the challenges, you know, that they face throughout their lives on and off the field. So today they should be very proud, and obviously these types of losses, sometimes they can, you know, hurt and sting for a while, but I think it's important we look at those areas that we did really well in, but also areas that we could improve and things we could have done better. I think South Africa fielded pretty well actually as well. The run out, you know, a few catches on the boundary, on the ring, those sorts of things. I think they fielded really well, and maybe that was the difference today a little bit.
Hi, Trotty. Bad luck today. Can you just tell us a bit about your strategy in those 2 super overs, and, like, for example, why Mohamed Nabi came out to bat at the start of the second one, and just how did you plan your bowling?
Well, we thought we saw that they were going to bowl spinner, Kesh. So Nabi's a pretty good hitter of spin, just didn't get it right. I think, you know, we made the call. Gobaz in good form. You know, it's one of those things.
Yourself, I mean, you guys have obviously lost a second game now, and I know that you're done after this tournament. What's it been like for you, your time with Afghanistan, and also your reflections on everything you've achieved in however long it's been?
I think that was a great snapshot of it. No, I think I'd prefer to talk about it, you know, when it's done, than talk about it now. We've still got 2 important games, you know. I think respect the side, the job, but also the 2 games we've got coming up which are important as well. I don't think it's time to start talking about, you know, when I'm not in the position. I'm still in the position. I'd like to make sure I get that right, and that we get it right against the UAE in Delhi. They're a good side, and so are we. So we've got to hopefully finish playing some good cricket and see what we come up with. Hopefully this group can surprise a few people. There are a few losses somewhere along the line, and we get ourselves back in, and we've got to stay positive. And we've played a lot of cricket against the UAE in Dubai and Sharjah, and we know each other pretty well, so that should be a good game.
Jonathan, you were born in South Africa in a time when the national team had a reputation for melting under pressure. And I kind of wonder if you saw signs of that happening. I know they won, obviously, but did you see signs of that, of panic in the South Africans?
No, I thought I think they're a very good side. I was speaking to Shukri, who coached me at the academy in 2001, and you know, I've got nothing, you know, obviously respect for the upbringing that I had as a child and the schooling and the education as a cricketer. I'll never forget that. But you know, obviously, whenever South Africa plays or I play against South Africa, I want to win. But if South Africa is playing somebody else other than England or the team that I'm coaching, like this, you know, I want them to do well. So. Yeah, I said to Shooks, I think they'll learn from that and they'll hopefully iron out the things that they want to get right. But that's for them to sort out. And you know, I wish them all the best. And they're a very good side.
Gurbaz, I mean, he had a really good innings in the main match, and then almost took you over the line there. He's obviously one of your best players. He looked really gutted at the end there. What do you think he will go through now, and what can you do to support him? And also, you know, how important is this to him?
I think with Gurbaz, I think it's probably the best innings I've seen him play, and I just unfortunately couldn't get us a bit closer or get us over the line there. So, you know, Gurbaz is a really great and talented cricketer, and those innings that we saw today, I think he should play more often. If I'm honest with you, the amount of talent that he has, and the physique, and the sporting ability, and natural hand-eye coordination. It's just about going forward now, I think, with him and just being able to process this will be a good challenge for him. You know, wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's quite an animated character. I think, you know, the years that I've been with him now, and just trying to get him to, you know, be a little bit more consistent in everything that he does. And we all saw today the types of innings that he can play, and the areas that he can hit balls, and how hard he can hit them. And I think he should be a lot more consistent than he is. Especially when you see innings like that, and I look forward to seeing how his future goes, and that goes for everyone else.
Yeah, there are a lot of ifs and buts in such games, but you went through a double super over against India 2 years back.
Yeah.
Are there any lessons to be drawn from such games going to these, or it's just too random for you to think of?
No,
anything like
I think, you know, I've had a couple of super overs, and I think as a coach, you got to be very clear on what you do. Because what happens is, certainly when the game ends, there's a lot of emotions, like there was, you know, and then there's a lot of information. You got to be very clear, I think, and we were clear. We were clear, and sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't, you know, and sometimes when you're on the losing side of it, you think, oh, what if? That's generally what happens, you know. So if it had been the other way, you know, South Africa would be asking themselves questions, but they get on a bus now, and it's, you know, they've got their full points from their 2 games. So that's what happens in cricket, I find, as well. So it's important now as a coach, we don't lose sight of actually what we've been able to do here, and the respect that I think of the years that I've been in charge, we've been able to gain respect around the cricketing world and community for the way that we play the game, and the talent of players that we have, and I think that's a great thing.